Hello YouTube, and welcome to a new playthrough of a classic RPG that came out a long time ago. Basically, this game is the granddaddy of pretty much every RPG that's out today. This, along with Ultima and Rogue and some of those other games, define the genre of a dungeon crawl. So this game was developed, the development started in 1978 by Andrew Greenberg and Robert Woodhead, taking about 2.5 years to come into market. This game is ruthless, it's difficult, there's a lot of ways you can just die in this game, and without effort, your game is over. We're going to try to avoid that, but if it happens, maybe we'll find some ways together to overcome those problems. So our goal here is to play through the entire Wizardry series, excluding the 4th incarnation, mostly due to the extreme number of insta-death traps and enemies making it really difficult to reasonably get through. It also has several different endings, and the completionist in me simply doesn't want to play the game if I don't have the ambition to do it justice and finish all the endings properly. And I really don't think we have that kind of time to do that here in this Let's Play. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 1, 2, and 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I think that should be more than enough, because the playtime on some of these can be kind of extreme, anywhere from 40 to 100 hours for completion. They don't seem like much because they're really compact, but that's mostly just due to the age. We won't be doing any hacks or cheats or any of that, and I intend to show you all the secrets and all those things that can be found without relying on trainers, cheats, and hacks, if at all possible. I expect to release this in 30-minute segments, going through parts of the series as we intend to play it. I'm going to try for a daily upload, but we may need to define a more specific schedule for these retro playthroughs that averages out at some time through the week at some point, but hopefully we don't have to do that. So the first time I played through this particular series was in 1981 on my old Apple II Plus. I had considered playing the series again on the old II Plus. However, recording from that proved to be almost impossible, so we would be playing the PC release. I went ahead and got the Wizardry Ultimate Archive so that I could get these. Now, the original games are, on the PC release, all DOS. So there's no Windows interaction. There's really no sound, per se, in the first few games. Those get introduced a little bit later on. This also complicates recording them a little bit, but it's not too difficult. At least we get a really clear picture because, well, these graphics aren't too terribly complicated. So let's see how far we get. I have a feeling this one's just going to be setting up our party and getting them equipped and maybe getting a little bit of experience in the dungeon. But mostly it's going to be getting started. I've already created a group of 6 characters to expedite the process. I'm sure there's a lot of debate on what the perfect party is for this game. So what we've done is we've gone with 3 fighters, 1 priest, 1 thief, and 1 wizard or mage. Basically that rounds things out fairly well. The cleric that I made is evil, I believe. We're also going to need to go in at some point and make a good cleric so that we can handle some of the levels. The rest of the characters, I'm pretty sure, starting out, are all neutral. The reason for that is that certain parts of the game, your alignment has a little bit to do with how the game allows you to get through the levels. And since we're not doing any skips, and we're going to play through the game, we're probably going to need to finagle the alignment a little bit without having to tank it all the way down to one side or the other. but having a neutral or a good in the party, with the rest of them being neutral, will kind of allow us to get through some of those parts without so much trouble and without cheating, which is a really good thing. So let us start the game. Okay, so as you can see, everything is keyboard based. There's very little in this particular version that has anything to do with a mouse or controller, and this is kind of the way things started out. The later games, I think, use mice and things like that. Now, I haven't played this game in a really long time, so I'm a little bit rusty on how things go, but we're going to do the best we can. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go look at the party we've created. So we're going to go to the edge of town, and then we're going to go to the training. So here we've got the option to create a new character, inspect a particular character, or view a roster of all the characters we have created already. So we're going to look at the roster. So we hit R, and this is what we have. And it looks like I've already made a mistake. Our mage is evil, and one of our fighters is good. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to fix that. So I guess you do get to see some character creation. So we're going to go back, and we're going to inspect this guy. And looking at him, we can see that he's a fighter, he's good, and he's a human. So we are going to leave, and we're going to delete him. So now we're going to create a character. And we're going to make him human, and we're going to make him neutral. And to make a fighter, you need high strength. So we're going to raise that strength up until the fighter option appears. And then we're going to go down and we're going to give him a little bit of vitality and a little ability. And I think a little more strength. There we go. Okay, so he is now neutral. Let's check our roster again. Now we need to change our mage, because we would rather start out on an even playing field with all neutral characters than have anybody other than the priest be neutral. And the reason for this is that in this game, alignment matters. You can't have good players in a party with the evil players because the game just doesn't allow that. And it makes sense because this is really based on the Dungeons and Dragons rule set. And it's the old rule set, not the newer one with some flexibility. This is the one where everything was laid out, and that's how it was. So let's go ahead and delete that mage Osric. So we're going to inspect him. And yes, he is our evil mage elf. So we're going to delete him. And we're going to recreate him. We're going to make him an elf. And we're going to make him neutral. So to make a mage, we need intelligence. And since he's an elf, his intelligence is fairly high anyway. So let's go down here and give him a little bit more luck. And since he may change classes later, let's give him one more point of piety, just in case. And we're going to select mage, and we're going to keep it. Okay, so now let's inspect our roster. So we've got these 6 characters, and they're all level 1. They're all neutral, except our priest, who's a dwarf, who's evil. And let's make another priest now. And what should we call him? Let's call him Ralph. And we're going to make him a dwarf. And we're going to make him good. So since he's a priest, we need his piety to be high. And make him luckier too. So he is our good option priest. So we can switch to him And when we reach those areas where it kind of matters what alignment you are. And basically, what causes the alignment conflicts later on is that the party meets a group of monsters and they are good. So maybe not monsters really, but NPCs. Good NPCs. If your party is evil, the only thing you can do is fight them. If your party is good, these good NPCs, well, you can do other options with them. And we want some of those options. We don't necessarily want our party to always have to fight them. Now, if you fight things of the same alignment, your alignment will eventually drift into the opposing alignment. So if you have a good character and he fights evil characters, he'll stay good. But if he fights good characters, they will eventually turn evil. So let's leave the edge of town. And I think we have to recruit them at the inn. So, no, I guess not. Tavern. So let's add our team. And that leaves Ralph. So basically what this gives is more of the classic 6-character makeup. Which actually, now that I think of it, I wonder if Pokemon got the 6 Pokemon you can keep based off of some of the way these were set up with 6 character slots. Something to think about. Anyway, now we've got them. So each of these characters has no equipment. We have to go in and we have to find things for them to use. So let's go to the trading post and we'll send the first guy. Who's our fighter? So we want to buy things. So he's going to want a longsword and purchase 1. And he's going to want probably chainmail. And that doesn't leave us much else. No. Okay, so let's get the next guy. Same thing, buy longsword. Buy chainmail. And the third one. These are all the same. Our intention is, in the end, maybe to convert some of these from fighters to some of the other elite classes, which this game does have. The thief can become like a ninja, who becomes more useful in fighting, but right now, thieves aren't really fighters. So we're going to need to rearrange our party here in a second, because the thief in this game, his only use really at this level is to unlock traps and things like that. So this guy needs to buy a longsword and chainmail. Okay, and now we're up to our thief, who needs to buy looks like he can use a short sword and leather armor. See if he can use anything else. Doesn't look like it at this point. So we'll leave. So now we need to bring in our mage, who has a limited amount of things he can buy. So let's get him a staff and some robes. And now we are up to our priest. And he can use blunt weapons, so we'll probably get him a mace, because the flail would pretty much take out all the money he has. So what can he wear? he's getting chainmail. Okay. So now we can leave. And now let's go. Oop, don't want to do that. Let's go to the tavern. And let's remove 4, 5, and 6. Oh, I don't think that did what we wanted. Nope, we need to remove 4. Okay, so let's add. Yeah, that isn't going to do it. All right, so remove the mage. This is one thing I wish the game did. Just tell you their classes because, well, I don't know these guys well enough at this point to tell who they are. So I think Ingrain was our priest, and our priest having heavier armor and can fight a little bit works to his favor. So then our thief and then our mage. Now putting in the back line kind of takes him out of the field of fire a little bit. So we'll leave. Now let's go to the edge of town. Training. Inspect. Inspect him. And I cannot remember how to equip their equipment. Looks like we lost our party somehow. Okay. Now in this game, when you go down into the maze, you can't save your game in the maze. You only save your game in town. Now that causes some problems because if you're out, you've got to go all the way back up to get out of the game. Let's go to the maze. Equip. Longsword, chainmail. Longsword, chainmail. And this is how you equip their equipment. Okay, we're all ready to go. So let's leave. So the first thing the game presents us with is there are stairs up. Take them, and basically this would take us back up to town. Not really where we want to go. So we're not going up. What we're going to do is we're just going to go forward a few steps. And then we're going to turn around. Try down this way. And basically, I'm just trying to find something to fight. Ah, here we go. An encounter. And we got 3 small humanoids. And we surprised them. So that means we get the first attack. So we're going to fight, fight, fight. And then we're going to parry, parry, parry. And then we're going to go. This is kind of like turn-based comment. So it's not too quick, but it's not too bad. It looks like we got 26 gold and some experience. So now we're going to continue around the room. Doesn't look like anybody got hit. And another encounter. And this is the problem. When you're leaving, you can come across things. So what we found is a friendly group of kobolds, which means our alignment, in some degree, match theirs. Now, since they're friendly, we're just going to leave them alone. There's enough things down here that would want to kill us. That we don't have to worry about fighting things that are friendly. Now, some of you guys who have not played a game like this before are probably wondering, where's the map function? There isn't one. The map is in your head, or what we used to do, and what I have, is a graph paper representation of every floor in the dungeon, where it goes, and what it is. So there are 10 levels in this particular game number. So this is the first one. This one has 10 levels. So we've got to work our way through 10 levels to get to the bottom. None of it has a map, unless you make it yourself. A lot of challenges there. Makes it kind of fun, in my opinion. But, in our case, we are only level 1. So we are not going anywhere near the bottom just yet. We're probably not going to get off this first floor until we're about level 4. Here we go with combat again. Give them our standard fight, parry, parry, parry order. And we seem to be doing pretty well against these. And it looks like we took some damage. Maybe. Yep, we did. It looks like they're running away. And he ran away. Bravely ran away, though. Don't want to say bad things about him. He tried. And we get some experience and a little bit of gold to go buy some better equipment. Which, hopefully, that'll help us hit some of these things. So, don't quite want to go up yet. Although we do want to camp. And we do want to see our priest. And we do want to cast a spell. And we want to cast... Dios is a healing spell. There's a long list of spells that you can download. That one I remember. There are other ones I'm not too terribly sure about, because it has been a while. Okay. And in the beginning, just wandering, looking for random encounters is probably the best thing. There is a static encounter that's worth a lot of experience, but at level 1 you can't really go do that one. So some of these things were taking the random encounters so that we don't do some of the more challenging ones, because we're just not ready for that yet. Okay. Killed the 2, it looks like. And killed all 3 of them. More experience. And here's a chest. So we're going to have our thief inspected. And it says it's got a poison needle. So we're going to have our thief disarm it. And he's probably going to fail. And he could not disarm it. So let's try again. And now he disarmed it. So we got a little bit of experience, it looks like. And some gold. Maybe not experience. It flashed by kind of quick. Alright, another encounter. And they surprised us this time. So that means they get to go first before we can do anything. So need to heal that guy. Okay, got 1, got 2, got 3. And he got 2 points back, which isn't the full amount, but at level 1, what are you going to expect? So in this game, unlike some of the other games, you don't level up automatically. So you can do the entire floor and have 10 times the experience to make the level, but your character won't level up because you can't do that in the maze. You have to exit the maze and go stay at the inn. Unfortunately, the inn has a side effect that every time you stay in it, your character advances 1 year in age. Eventually, I'm not sure which versions this works in and not works in, your characters can die of old age. So we've got a friendly group of orcs, and since we're hurting a little bit, we're going to leave them alone. And we're just going to leave this room. And we got skeletons. So we surprised them. So let's fight, fight, fight. And we're going to use the priest's ability to dispel undead because they're skeletons. Mostly because our fighters have some damage. The reason you don't maybe necessarily want to do this every time is because if they dispel successfully, whatever gets dispelled, you don't get experience for. I don't think we killed anything. Can I cast Dios again? Nope, I cannot. So, parry, parry. There we go. Alright. Killed one. It missed. Missed. Oh. Got another one. Got another one. And hopefully we can get this guy quick enough. There we go. So one of our fighters only has 1 point of hit points. Okay, so let's camp. And inspect our priest. He's got no spells left. Okay. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Alright. So there's a temple where you can go, and the temple brings people back to life. Now, nobody's dead, so that's not a big deal. So let's go leave the game. Okay, so what we missed there was I accidentally exited the game by hitting leave too many times. So we're going to go ahead and end this here. And the next time we come back, we'll cover some more of healing and what to do, and we'll get a little bit more involved in what goes on in the first floor. Because some of our characters are pretty close to a level. Not quite there, but fairly close. So if you want to see more of this series, go ahead and subscribe and like the video, and any comments you might have, the gameplay, things you might want to see, things you might want me to show you in the game. By all means, leave a comment, let me know. I look forward to it, and I really enjoyed this game, and especially the entire series. It's been a long time since I played it, so there's going to be a bit of a learning curve for all of us. But this game, if you have the opportunity and you really like RPGs, this is one you definitely want to check out. And at the very least, you might just want to watch my playthrough of it, and that might be enough for some people. But this game came out on the NES, the Apple, PC, Commodore 64, a bunch of different platforms. And you'll see a lot of elements for this game in games all across from the early 80s all the way up and even current things today. So that's all for now. But like I said, subscribe, like the video. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I try to answer everything, and we'll get through this and we'll have a great adventure together. So till next time.